Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch edition number 2 on the day today, March 22nd. Taking a look here at the mid-level water vapor loop. Wanted to call a little bit more attention here to what you can obviously see across the Pacific Ocean moving towards Pacific Northwest. Fairly potent atmospheric river. It's going to bring some heavy rainfall, and it's going to hang out for a bit here across southwest PC and some portions of western Washington as we go through tomorrow and on in through Monday. And then we've got a dynamic storm system that's going to be setting up off our coastline as we go through the day on Wednesday. That's all this energy back here south of the Aleutian Islands. We'll dive into those details here as we go through the video here this morning. So subscriber count got on the right track again here today. Sorry for any confusion there earlier and yesterday. And yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the channel. Let me know what you think. We should be getting up towards 100,000 subscribers at some point in the next few months, I would think. So lightning strike density over the last 24 hours, no big deal right now. We know there's no thunderstorm activity ongoing here currently. So apparent temperature right now, it was actually a fairly pleasant day today. I felt, like 55 degrees or so. It was dropped off a little bit here. We're now about 7:15 p.m. here Pacific time, and you can see still chillier across the higher terrain there, and you see California a bit warmer, of course, but we are going to warm up a little bit here, and with that atmospheric river, it's going to bring some warm conditions and bring the rising snow levels with it as well. And with it, some flooding concerns. So we'll take a look at that here more in a moment as well. Taking a look here at the weather station that I've been promoting here. A very fun weather station. Or click on the link down below if you want to save 10% off on it. You guys have probably heard me talk about this pretty extensively. Very impressed with that station. So I wanted to put this up as well. Anytime we're in the fall, winter, and spring months here, we do have the moderate risk of sneaker waves. And I just want to remind you, these are not just waves that just ordinarily run up the beach that you can kind of see coming out there a lot of times. Sometimes it'll be sneaky and it'll come down the side of the beach here, and they bring these waterlogged logs that run people over, and it kills people every year. So be careful out there. And this threat is current here. You see Monday evening, 3/24 through March 25th, they're coming up. So watch out for that. Now, taking a look here, we do have the hydrologic outlook here for some portions of western Washington. We have flood watch here out towards Kitsap Peninsula and some of the Olympic Peninsula. And look at this avalanche warning here for the Cascades of Washington. More on that here in a moment as well. And if we take a look at that hydrologic outlook, they talk about this atmospheric river Sunday through Monday, bringing heavy rain at times, especially for the mountains. Total precipitation amounts in the mountains will range from 3 to 6 inches. Locally, heavier amounts possible. Snow levels will rise to around 7,500 feet during this period. Sharp river rises with flooding possible. And if we take a look here, you can see we've got flashing areas here across the west slopes of the Cascades of Washington, including Mount Hood there, some portions of Idaho and western Montana as well. And that's where the avalanche warnings are in effect. And if I click on one of those areas here, right by Snoqualmie Pass, you can see the bottom line, an atmospheric river will soak our dry and layered snowpack, resulting in widespread avalanche activity. Very large natural avalanches are expected and could run long distances towards valley bottoms or into the forest. Traveling anywhere an avalanche can start, run, or stop is not recommended. And again, all elevations, this very high avalanche danger will be present. And this is a great website. There's all kinds of stuff. You can see all the detail they go into and whatnot, and forecast discussion. They do snow levels and ridgeline winds and temperatures and all kinds of stuff, and they show you what the snow looks like out there. So anyway, let's take a look at this atmospheric river. Look at this plume of moisture just north of the Hawaiian Islands. You could nickname that whatever you wanted, maybe even the Pineapple Express, since it's close enough there. And as we go through the day tomorrow, you can kind of see that hung up over western Washington. Man, it just kind of dancing around here as well. The rainfall amounts, we will be getting rain off and on for a place like Seattle, but again, across the higher terrain is really going to get drenched with this. Then it bounces north as the ridge develops here as we go on in through Tuesday. And a pretty nice day overall on Tuesday across the region before you can see this next system gearing up for its impact here on the Pacific Northwest. And again, pointing out the atmospheric river, all this is based on duration, 24, 48, 72 hours, and the rate of integrated vapor transport and the amount of it. And that's what gives you the atmospheric river scale. It's just a way for meteorologists to communicate with each other. And it's just kind of a way of telling you that it's probably a warm system and it's bringing a lot of rainfall, and it may go on for an extended period of time. So that's what an atmospheric river is. It's not something that has anything to do with climate change or anything like that. It's not meant to scare you, just a weather term, a specific weather term. So let's take a look. Let's back this up. This is the European. This is the 25th percentile. Let's bump this up to the 50th percentile there. You can do all kinds of fun stuff with these ensemble members. There's 50 of these, and the average out So this is the 50th percentile of all of those ensemble members. And you see as we go through Sunday afternoon, look at the rainfall just really piling up on the Olympics, Vancouver Island, Southwest BC, North Cascades, and look at it just continue as we go into the Sunday night. Monday morning, rainfall continues to pile up, and you see the rain shadowing downwind of the Olympic Mountains across some of the Hood Canal area there, some of Whidbey Island, and trying to creep in towards Snohomish County a bit. And you can kind of see that rain shadow does impact Seattle at times. And in fact, the rain shadow impacts downtown Seattle more than just SeaTac, a little bit further south. In fact, SeaTac receives about 11% more precipitation a year versus downtown Seattle because of that rain shadow feature. But anyway, we'll scroll through here on in through Monday, and you can see just big time rainfall amounts coming in here. Some areas 4 or 5, probably locally 6 inches or more for some areas. Look at Seattle up over an inch by the time we get in towards me. Back that up probably on sometime on the day Monday. And then that precipitation is going to cut off, and we are going to warm up before the next system comes rolling in here and brings some more interesting weather. We'll go over that starting right now. In fact, 500 millibars. This is at 18,000 feet. So here goes the atmospheric river pouring into the area, and then we get this negatively tilted trough off the coastline there. Strong defluence aloft means results in some convergence at the surface. The opposite response is the convergence at the surface, and that creates that lift, and that's what gives us that thunderstorm potential here. Kind of rare in March, but with this warm air mass, we just may get it done, and we may bring some thunderstorms here across the region, including places west of the Cascades and east of the Cascades. So then eventually that trough will be swinging through here as we go on in towards the end of the week. It's just kind of hung up there right off Vancouver Island and almost retrogrades back across the Gulf of Alaska, keeping that moist flow with additional system as we go through the end of March. Now, if we look at the 18Z European model, so here we go on in through the night tonight. You see Washington Coast, Vancouver Island, Western BC, Cascades. As we go in through tomorrow morning, the rain will be relentless tomorrow, but there will be some rain shadowing out there. Again, mainly places like downtown Seattle, north through Hood Canal. You'll get some of that rain shadow activity, and you can see that same rain shadowing going on here for places east of the mountains. Also, it runs into the high terrain across British Columbia and the Cascades of Washington, and it doesn't make much headway, but when it comes back across, it runs back into some higher terrain here, and it drops out some more rainfall there up against some of the Rocky Mountains as well. So as we go on in through the day on Sunday and Monday, again, you can see just some big time amounts. That's where the flooding concern is, because you can see it just training over western Washington and some of southwest BC as we go on in through the day Monday as well. And then we really warm up on Tuesday, and places lucky enough to be south of this rain band are going to get quite nice, especially places like Portland, Seattle. There probably will be some clouds in the sky, but you'll definitely feel the warmth on Tuesday. And then we wait to see what comes as we go through Wednesday morning. Very early morning, you see some of this come up across the Puget Sound, western Oregon, up the Cascades. That could be packing some lightning with it as well. You could get more than just a couple strikes out of that. You could get many strikes. You could get 100 or more strikes out of that, in fact. And then there's going to be multiple rounds of it as we go through the day Wednesday. So it's kind of be a fine line. Right now, it looks like there will be lightning strikes with this activity here, but if it backs off or something changes a little bit, it's still kind of a fine line. We will be marginally unstable. But right now, it looks like we've got lightning potential with this storm system. As we go through Wednesday night and on in through Thursday morning, we're going to have some of that kicking off to the east as well as we go through the day on Thursday with that low pressure system sitting and filling here off the coastline. Multiple rounds of precip with it as it finally starts to die and curls back across Haida Gwaii there. Yeah, some active weather here coming up as we go through next week. If we take a look at what the European thinks as far as lightning flash density potential, this is 6 hours. So let's go ahead and scroll through here. We're now going on into Tuesday, and you see the initial instability there coming up across southwest Oregon. Can't rule out a few strikes there on Tuesday afternoon. And then we go through Wednesday morning and watch that. Look at that. Just kind of erupt across some portions of western Oregon, Washington, Vancouver Island, even off into eastern Washington. And again, through the afternoon hours, plentiful lightning here across the region going on in through Wednesday night. Look at this segment coming across eastern Washington, continues to show. And then we go through the day Thursday, still some instability around as well. And then probably Friday, again, still a bit unstable across the region also. So we'll watch that one over the next few days. Yeah, my lightning strike that hit the plane, somebody took that. Jonathan Pulley there up on Whidbey Island, he made a little Photoshop there of a orca jumping out of the water there, kind of a unicorn, once in a lifetime shot of that plane. I couldn't believe I got it, but yeah, having some fun with it there. And if we take a look for tomorrow, I wanted to point out the wind speeds because it does get a bit blustery tomorrow. There's is 7 in the morning, 8, 9, 10, 11, noon. You can see Seattle gusting up towards 40, Everett 40, Olympia 40, Northwest Interior, maybe a 50-mile-per-hour gust there along the coast. And we really get ramped up here through Sunday afternoon out of the west across the east slopes of the Cascades and the eastern Washington. Spokane may be gusting up towards 50 miles per hour. But yeah, some very strong winds. I mean, you're talking about if you're up in the Natchez, the backcountry there, some of the higher terrain, Blewett Pass, surrounding higher terrain, Lake Chelan, Lake Wenatchee out there. Be careful because it's going to be kind of wild out there as well. And I mean, down towards, I don't know if I think that's Yakima right there, but the surrounding terrain around it could be some very strong gusts, some back and forth across Highway 12. You got to watch out for that. Some in excess of 60 miles per hour is possible. And this is the day one outlook, day two. So we're not talking about thunderstorms probably until at least Tuesday night for maybe some of Southwest Oregon. But by Wednesday, much of the Pacific Northwest will be under the gun. So still a few days to go. Today is still only Saturday. And if we take a look at Boeing Field, I captured this one. You can see the convective available potential energy is in this slice here. We know the parcel of air will be rising. It will be colder than its surrounding temperature there. So we know the updrafts will come, and that will give the convection potential there as we go on in through the day on Wednesday. I'm not talking about tornadoes. I didn't see any soundings that would show any really significant severe weather. You could get some gusty winds out of these showers and of course some dangerous lightning, but we're not looking at tornadic activity from what I saw. The lower profile does not support that. You're not looking at any robust lower level updrafts from what I saw right now across portions of western Washington. So anyway, now, taking a look at the European Artificial Intelligence, I like to show this sometimes. This is a cross section. 39,000 feet is at the top. There's 18,000. You go down towards the surface and you can see our brief warm up here as we go on in through the day. Tuesday and Wednesday will still be pretty warm here as the showers are moving across the region. Then we cool back down and we get in our more typical La Nina springtime pattern of cool weather with systems moving through at times as we go through the end of the month. And here is 10,000 feet at the top of this cross section here. And you can see the warmth that will be going on Tuesday. Man, enjoy Tuesday. If you can get the day off Tuesday, now is the time to take a day off. Very warm conditions here across a lot of the Pacific Northwest. Going to be a glorious day, except the caveat there is if you're too far north across western Washington, you're going to start to run into some clouds and some precipitation across portions of British Columbia as well. So that's kind of the only fly in the ointment as far as that. But even then, you're going to feel the warm up on Tuesday. And again, Wednesday should be a fairly warm day as well. And now the North American model, the 12-kilometer version, is running right now, the 0Z. So we are getting closer to where we can almost see the next system, again, the atmospheric river that rolls through on and through the day Monday. And then here we go. So you can see the next system gearing up out there. So yeah, you can kind of see it. And again, the trough position, the shape of this trough is going to make a big difference on just how much we destabilize here across the Pacific Northwest. Because if you start getting that southwest flow and you don't get the good defluence aloft, you don't get the negatively tilted trough, you really reduce the amount of thunderstorm potential you're going to have at least west of the Cascade. So still some things that can go wrong, and we've got to watch that closely here over the next few days. Again, it's only Saturday. We're not expecting this until Wednesday. So still, we need to do some fine tuning with that forecast. Now, last thing here, national blend of models, daily 2-meter max temperatures for tomorrow. And again, it was 55 today when I was out there at my son's soccer game. And, it felt pretty nice, relatively speaking. And tomorrow should be, maybe even a little bit warmer. And we go to Monday and you can see things bumping up, especially look at the Willamette Valley, man. Some 70s showing up, eastern Washington, some 70s in Oregon. Look down into Treasure Valley, nice and warm. And then Tuesday, man, that is the day to take off if you can get it. But if your boss knows you watch this channel and you start taking those days off, then he might be questioning you about that if you're timing it up with some of this nice weather. Because, I mean, look at that, 70 for Tacoma. That's going to feel downright. That's going to be a little mini heat wave here for us for the Pacific Northwest. And then we go to Wednesday, and the storms will be around and get some precipitation, but you can still see how the temperatures are elevated. Look at the Okanagan River Valley all the way up into BC, Fraser River Valley there, nice warm temperatures. And you see a lot of 70s, maybe even 80-degree reading will pop up across eastern Oregon down towards Treasure Valley also. And then you go to Thursday, we cool things down with that trough, bring in some more, onshore flow there as we go on through the day. Thursday, there's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, no heat wave in sight after that. So anyway, just thought I'd kick this out here for you. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the channel. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow. We'll break everything down yet again, and I will talk to you guys later.